Frontline Archive Report Sector, Northern France State, 1944 Unit, 2nd Attached Infantry Group Classification. Unconfirmed field account. We were told the river line would be a clean crossing. Intel said the enemy had already withdrawn east after Normandy collapsed. No resistance expected. No remaining formations. Just a standard push forward. But the unit that went ahead of us never reported back. They were supposed to cross at dawn. One full battalion. Engineers first, then infantry support. We held position on the western bank to secure the crossing route. I remember watching them move out. No panic. No hesitation. Just routine movement across a shallow river cutting through farmland. By mid-morning, they were gone from sight. By noon, there was still no radio contact. At first, nobody worried. Delays were common. But by evening, command went quiet. That was the first sign something was wrong. We were ordered to advance and establish contact. 2nd platoon moved along the same route. The river crossing looked untouched. No debris. No damaged equipment. No bodies. Just silence. Too much silence. The first thing we noticed was the absence of sound. No artillery in the distance. No aircraft overhead. Even birds had stopped calling. The river itself looked normal, but wrong in a way I couldn't explain. Like it had been disturbed recently and then reset. We found the first sign on the far bank. Boat prints. Dozens of them. Heading inland, but none coming back. Miller pointed it out immediately. They made it across, he said. But Sarge didn't answer, because something else didn't make sense. The prints didn't form a retreat pattern. They formed a single, tight formation. Like they were still moving as a unit. We followed the trail inland. About 400 meters into the fields, we found equipment. Abandoned rifles. Ammo crates still sealed. One helmet sitting upright on a fence post. Perfectly balanced. No sign of struggle. No impact marks. Just placement. Like someone had arranged it. That's when the radio started crackling. Not ours. The missing battalion's frequency. Dawson picked it up first. Static at first. Then a voice. Hung. Controlled. But wrong. Because it wasn't calling for help. It was reporting coordinates. Our coordinates. Sarge ordered immediate radio silence. But the transmission kept going, even without input, even without a clear source. It kept repeating, crossing complete, sector secured. Miller turned to me and whispered, "That's not possible." They never checked in. We pushed further, and then we found them, or what was left of them. The entire battalion was positioned in a shallow tree line beyond the fields, all facing outward. Not scattered, not fallen, positioned, like they were still holding a perimeter. But there was no enemy fire zone, no signs of engagement, no wounds consistent with battle, just stillness. Sarge gave the order to check for survivors. We moved in carefully. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. Every soldier had their radio still attached. Every single one. And every single one was still transmitting. We heard it then, from multiple radios at once. Overlapping voices. Repeating the same phrase. Not panic. Not distress, just confirmation, crossing complete. No resistance encountered. Miller stepped back immediately. "That's not them," he said. "They're still talking, but they're gone." Then one of the radios switched frequencies to ours and said something I still can't explain, because it wasn't coded. It wasn't encrypted. It was direct, clear, and addressed to Sarge by name. "Do not proceed east of the river line." Sarge froze. Nobody had given that name over comms. Not once. That's when we realized something worse. The battalion hadn't been ambushed. They hadn't been destroyed. They had simply stopped responding while still functioning. Like the entire formation had been captured without contact ever breaking. Command ordered us to withdraw immediately after that transmission. No explanation given. No recovery operation launched. The battalion was officially listed as lost during river crossing due to communication failure. But no bodies were ever recovered. No wreckage confirmed. Nothing entered the record after that point. We left the river line before nightfall, and I remember looking back one last time, because the radios behind us were still transmitting, even though no one was touching them, even though no one was alive to speak into them, still repeating the same message, over and over. Calm, precise, final, sector secured, and we were told not to speak about it again.